How's it going, guys? Well, I'm actually been cleaning up a lot of my folders and stuff lately, but I want to share some of the stuff that I don't feel that I've shared before. I don't think I have. Some older stuff, some newer stuff. This is pretty wild. Look on the end of this thing. This craft is pretty much almost solid, right? Then you got drivers or occupants right there. You got the blue suited gray. You have a reptilian or almost like a cat-like being right there. And they're inside of one of these craft that's just sitting on this bow right here. There's an opening right there where you could see the occupants right in there. You got the gray, you got a cat-like being, probably another one, because they usually come in threes, but the gray is definitely the most visible right there. The two eyes, the blue suit. Thought that was pretty wild. Anyways, moving on. And this one, I didn't even know what it was. It's just like a flashing ball of light. I've caught this a few times. Like on the ground, nothing around it that I can really see. What is this? Hold up. Holy shit. I just caught this. I didn't notice that before. Look at this. Wow, I never noticed this till just now. You got a gray, which looks right here, two spindly arms, the head, and he's like kneeling or something. And then this looks like a human in a white cloak walking towards this gray from this light. Wow, that's nuts. Yeah, that looks like a little gray right there. You can see his arms, a little spindly, his head. And this almost, it looks like a white cloak, long brown hair, walking towards it from the light. Almost looks like how you'd picture like Jesus to be dressed. Looks like, I mean, it's not great quality, but you could see a white cloak. You could see it. His arm is a little bent in front of him. And he's walking towards this gray from the light. That is nuts. I just noticed that. I thought it might have been a sign or something. But when I got closer, I could see the arms bend, and this definitely looks like the shape of a gray. Wow. Pretty crazy. Man, that blows my mind. I just put that together. Here was another image of all these light vehicles and these beings. Like, there's so many of them when they're exposed. Look, this one you could see a couple grays. You got one there, you got one next to him right there. And you could see translucent entities all over the place if you really want to look. There's one right there. But I just thought it was interesting seeing all these crazy, like, portals. They're like portals, light vehicles, because you will always see a being in the middle of them, usually. There's another gray right in the middle, and they come through this stuff. And if you've seen my last videos that I showed these things, it shows some really good shots of it. I mean, there's a bunch of... there's like millions of these things. And I got some crazy cloud ships. This one's weird. Okay. I mean, these beans, that's what I'm saying. They look huge in some of these things. You got one right there. When I zoom in, got a gray right there. There's another one right here. And it's almost like, it's weird, really weird. Like this circle, right? It's almost like there's a lid that popped off this circle and their heads are popping out. It's kind of weird. It's just really bad quality on these Alaska cameras. But you can see how this stuff's poking through the clouds like always. I just thought this was weird because I was actually catching these huge entities. And then on this one, this is the same spot. It almost looks like the lid is back on. Because you can see it's almost the same circular thing. It's a different angle. And this one is laying more flat. But it also looks like there's an opening here that isn't there on this one. And this one's also closer, so I thought that was pretty strange. Then I just catch all these ships in the background of our clouds becoming more physical. You get these reddish type saucers. I don't know if that's like the planet they're trying to hide. That could be, that almost looks like a spherical object, but another thing is you catch these horizon walls that are almost on every horizon. When the sun sets and comes up across the world, you can see them all over the place. You can see it again. These walls are everywhere. And this one is nuts, guys. It took me a while to figure this out. It's a big ship, but you gotta take a big picture look at it. It's a gray's head. You got an eye. You got a mouth. It comes up here, goes around. You got another eye. I know it's bad. And then there would be the nose. But those are all openings of the crafts. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these crafts are shaped in the faces of these things. Now watch, when I take it away, just take a holistic look at it. See that? That's nuts. There it is. It's crazy. But it's just strange how they do that with our reality and just mess with our heads to see all this shit. And then you can see this stuff poking through the clouds. These aren't mountains, folks. They're not mountains. And honestly, when I started seeing these layered clouds like this around my house is really when I started to put stuff together and started to see these actual things poking through. These stacked clouds that look like stacks of saucers. And you always find activity around there. Because I'm sure those are cloaked ships too. But look at, you see where the mountains are under this thing. And then you see these structures poking through that are just way bigger. Like here's the mountains, above the mountains. Nuts.